So before we actually get into what it's like to write your profile, I wanted to give you a quick intro into the layout of the screens on LinkedIn so that you know where all of the parts are. Right now, LinkedIn is actually in the middle of a pretty big UI change. Here's an example of the difference. So this is what the old page looked like. It had a lot of different tabs, and you might be on this one right now. So there's about 8 different tabs that are here. But in this course, I'm actually going to only review the new layout, which looks like this. So there's a toolbar up here with only 5 tabs, and there's some navigation icons to the right as well. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because even if you're on the old layout for a while, it will give you the information that you need to still decipher what's available and what's important for you to look at. And my guess is they're going to be rolling out this new version to everyone at some point. The principles for writing your profile and leveraging the platform will stay the same, whether or not you're on the old or the new. So the UI really isn't going to affect you there. So when you first log in to LinkedIn, you'll see this homepage. And again, as a quick disclaimer, even if you're on the new layout, not everyone's homepage is going to look the same. For example, I'm following a few different companies and content contributors, things that I'll go over in the section about socializing your profile that you won't necessarily be doing yet. And of course, the bigger disclaimer again is that since LinkedIn has been changing the format of their product and not everyone is turned on for it yet, the screen that you see may not be exactly the same as mine, but the basic principles for this course are the same. And again, I'll only be reviewing the newer version in this course. And this module should give you enough familiarity with the different components that even if this were to change in the future, which I'm sure it will, you'll still be comfortable navigating through whatever interface LinkedIn decides it wants to use, or even if you're still on the old version right now. So I'm going to go through the most important things that you need to know about each page, and some of these things I'll expand on in later modules. So when you first log in, you'll see your home screen. It looks like this. And there are a few different ways to access it once you're logged in. There is a lot of this type of repeat navigation for a lot of the pages on LinkedIn. So if you wanted to get back to your home page, you could click on this in icon. That would also take you back, or you could use the home button up here, and that also brings you back to the home page. This top toolbar is the main navigation system. And what we have here on the home page is the ability to access and edit your profile, the ability to see your network and search through your connections or add new connections, access the job seeking functionality, to which I dedicate an entire module later on in this course, and your interests, which include companies, groups, and influencers. And there is a section where we'll cover more in depth in the module on socializing your profile. So the first thing you'll see on your home page is the ability to update your status, and I'll cover how you can actually do this in the section on socializing your profile. In the section right underneath this, again, what you see may be different than what I see, but basically it's updates that are composed of news that LinkedIn recommends, updates from your connection. So anytime someone in your network makes a new connection or updates their profile or makes a status update or gets a new job, you'll see it on this newsfeed. If I'm following any companies, any updates they make to their company page will show up here as well. And you can control which updates you actually see by using the drop down on this upper right hand corner. So if I only choose connections, I'll only see the news. I'll see some of the news feeds drop away, the news that LinkedIn recommends for me, and I'll only see updates from the connections in my network. You'll notice that, let me switch this back. So you'll notice that as I scroll down, this top navigation bar actually disappears. See, it's not there anymore. So what that's supposed to do is give you some more room to view what's on your profile, but when I scroll up or when I hover my mouse over the top, it comes back. So to the right of your status update, what you'll see is some suggestions of people you may know, and this is from an algorithm that LinkedIn uses that's based off of who you're connected with, and these connections are a combination of your second degree and third degree connections. And this is something I'll cover again in the module on socializing your profile. You can also click on See More to see an expanded version of this, so not just the 3 that they had showed you on the initial page, but a much larger list. If you scroll down, you'll see some ads, which is a big revenue generator for LinkedIn, and then you'll see this information on who's viewed your profile. If you click on it, you can see some of the names. If you're a free member, LinkedIn actually requires an upgrade to your account that will unlock some additional features like being able to see everyone who had viewed your profile. Since I'm not a premium member, I won't be covering that in this course. And there are also some people who choose to browse LinkedIn anonymously, so you won't see their names show up either. So if we go back to the home page, what you'll see underneath the number of people who viewed your profile in the past 7 days, how many times you've shown up in search results, and that could be someone searching by name or by industry or by keyword, an option to upgrade, and a quick overview of who's actually in your network. So these are your primary or direct connections, and just by having those, you're connected to this many professionals in your network through obviously people that they're connected with as well, and how many people joined in the past, in the past few days, or in my case, since June 4th. So it's just a really good way to see how much potential you actually have to connect through LinkedIn. With however many connections you have, you're connected to an exponentially larger number of people than that. So if we continue to scroll on the homepage, you'll see some suggestions for jobs, groups, companies that you may want to follow. And again, it ends with some more suggestions on people you might know and ads you might be interested in. So before I move on to the other tabs outside of the homepage, I just wanted to review some of the icon navigation that's on LinkedIn. So you can access your messages, your inbox, by just hovering over the envelope. So what this will actually show you is the last few incoming messages that you have. If you wanted to compose a message, you would click here. And if you actually click on the envelope, it'll bring you to your inbox. So you can see the messages that you've received. Your message folders are here. You have the ability to search or compose a message as well. And these icons you'll be able to see on all of the pages. So whether in your home, profile, network, or jobs or interests, you'll have these navigation icons towards the top right all of the time. So the notifications, such as this flag, will show you when you have a new connection. So when someone accepts your request to connect, or when someone looks at your profile. I have this notification that someone looked at my profile. So if I were to click here, it brings me back to the same page that I see when I go to my home page and look at the last 7 people who viewed my profile. So again, it's just another example of some of the repeat navigation on LinkedIn. You have the ability to mine through your contacts to see who is in your email address book, who you're not connected to on LinkedIn yet. So if you were to click here, what it allows you to do is add your email address, and it'll search through your contacts and notify you about who is in your address book who you're not connected with through LinkedIn. And another way you can access this screen is by going to Network, Add Connections, and again, another example of repeat organization. I'll go through how you actually would add your email address later in the module on socializing your profile and making connections. And that's about it for the home screen and the navigation bar and the navigation icons at the top. If you were to hover over your picture, this gives you a few additional options like signing out, the ability to upgrade your account, manage a job posting, and change some of your settings. And these settings I'll go over in the module on customizing your LinkedIn experience. So when you're on the home page, one thing I wanted to point out is this search bar. So LinkedIn is built on an amazing search capability. So you can start typing anything, keywords for example, and you'll get a drop-down menu of topics that are related to your keyword. So you can look for jobs related to social media, for example, people or groups related to this. And it would also show you companies that are associated with that keyword, groups, or skills. You can also do an advanced search. So what this allows you to do is look by a keyword and then actually filter your search by certain things. Right now it's doing a people search, so I could do an advanced people search in certain connections that I have or groups that I wanted to look within. I could even go as specific as how many years of experience they have, their seniority level, or their industry. If I were to collapse this though, I actually have the choice of doing a different type of search. So if I were to look in companies, I could do that here. I could filter by companies that my first degree connections are working in, my second degree connections are in, locations, who's hiring. I can filter by industry or company size. So there's a lot of different ways that you could search, but it's such a big part of LinkedIn that the search bar is front and center. So you could do a quick keyword search here, get suggestions on the drop down. If I were to wanted to look for people who are proficient in Facebook, who had that skill, or companies that are related to Facebook, or if I wanted to do an advanced search, it gives me some more options that I could work with here. I'm going to emphasize this later as well, but by far my biggest advice for navigating through LinkedIn is just to do it. Take some time to get familiar with what's here, play around with it. I know when I first started on LinkedIn, I had seen the old version, so there were a lot more pages in this and a lot more information. I actually thought it was pretty overwhelming, so initially I'd only stuck to about 2 screens, and I definitely wasn't getting the most out of LinkedIn. And it is easy to get overwhelmed by how much there is to do, but the best way to learn how to use it is just to go through all the pages and get familiar with what's there. You can't break anything, so I just wanted this module to serve as a guide to what's available. So now that we've gone through the home page, the navigation bar, and some of the navigation icons, the next thing I'm going to do is go through the profile tab.